Welcome back, everyone, to more of our custom career mode and career experience. And season number 2 in ARCA definitely brought some new faces to the top of the platform. We have a brand new champion in the series, and it is Jade Avedision. She was extremely impressive. So far, both of our champions have not had the most race wins in the series. So that means they had to be extremely consistent in order to have enough points to ultimately win the title. The main thing, of course, is that the first 2 seasons for us in ARCA, we have had the champion both times. First season, it was Kaylee Bryson. This most recent, it was Jade Avedision. So both of those drivers looking very strong as we start to think about who's going to fill our Truck Series team. We have room for 4, but not everyone is going to be able to make it because the competition is wide open here. And so far, it has been fierce. At this point, Kaylee Bryson has come to the forefront as our team leader. She's definitely getting a spot in the Truck Series. That's easy enough to determine. She has had amazing finishes, not only winning the championship in season 1 of ARCA, but she has been extremely consistent and a leader the entire time through this career experience. Taylor Reimer has been right there as well. Not quite as good a season here in season 2 of ARCA, but she has done really well and has certainly done nothing to tell me she doesn't deserve a spot in the Truck Series. Now, Jade Avedision, our defending champion in the ARCA series, has done what she needed to do to show me that, hey, I am ready to move up. That's 3. We have room for 4. And unfortunately, Carson Quapple has not shown it in either the first or the second season. Not that his first season was terrible by any stretch, but it didn't do anything to really impress. And then season 2 certainly has not been impressive. A finish much worse than I would have expected him to do. So Carson has really taken himself out of it. At the end of our first season in ARCA, we had 2 additional drivers from the field outside of our team really step up. They were Jeffrey Earnhardt and Hailie Deegan. So let's first take a look at how they did in season 2. Jeffrey Earnhardt, once again, he's in the top 5 in points. He picks up another 3 wins, 8 top 5s, 13 top 10. That is some quality work by Earnhardt. However, when we skip down to Hailie, she did not. She drops down to 16th in points, no wins. She did have 13 top 10, so that's good. But she did not have anywhere near the season she had in season 1. So she has dropped down the list. Right now, my top 4 drivers, Kaylee Bryson, Taylor Reimer, Jade Avedision, and Jeffrey Earnhardt. That's what the numbers tell me so far. However, I must admit that Hailie Deegan does have an upper hand if she can show something in season 3. The reason is I like the idea of an all-female team, but if the performance is not there, then she will not get the ride. She had a great season 1 and was looking really good for a spot. But season 2 was just not there. It was very much a disappointment, finishing all the way down in 16th, no wins, and so forth. So now, as we prepare for season 3, let's see what we get. First thing we need to do, of course, is clear out those race results. Then we need to go back to our dynamic adjustments. So let's go ahead. We don't want to start there. We want to start with the drivers. And so let's do another adjustment here. I'm only going to do one this time. Been doing multiple, so we're only going to do one this time around, and we'll see exactly how well we settle out of this, because in the past we have had sort of a mixed bag so far. Our manufacturer has done us no favors. Let's see how things shake out. Team-wise, okay, we're looking good team-wise, because if you add these two numbers up together, that's 84, and nobody else is going to touch that. But you might have noticed, if you've peeked over here to the tiers on the side, you might have noticed something there, but we'll come back to that in just a second. But team-wise, nobody's touching us. However, manufacturer, I'm seeing 111 there. That's huge. For us, we're at 92. We're way behind. Our manufacturer is just not getting it done. Now, obviously, we could try to change manufacturers and maybe be able to catch up with that, but I'm not doing that because in real life, it takes a lot to change manufacturers, and it's not done very often at all, at least by the bigger teams. Some of the smaller teams can do so a little bit easier, but we're sticking with our manufacturer. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to have to take the hit. Where things really start to go south a little bit for one of our drivers, Kaylee Bryson, is when you get over here. This is where you see that, much like our manufacturer, she has had no luck whatsoever with these dynamic adjustments. We've got Carson Quapple, who's doing amazingly well with them. He's at 81. Taylor's at 79. Even Jade at 75 is not bad. But Kaylee Bryson at 65 is way behind in this area. So no luck whatsoever for her in that particular area. So that drops her down actually to a tier 2. Just out of tier 1 by being in 9th position instead of 8th. So we don't need a lot. However, what I'm going to do is we're going to hop over to series number 4 and we'll take a quick look just so that I can let you guys see some of the sponsorship deals we've been getting. Overall, it's been a mixed bag, but I'm not terribly excited about most of our sponsors. You can see we're up around 47. I believe we did have one. There's another 47. Yeah, there we go. Baskin-Robbins came in at 50. There's 49. But you also see that we've got 30,000 in here. That's not good. So overall, a bit of a mixed bag, but that's pretty much what you would expect. Now, as we scroll over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop another 10 in here. That'll cost us a little bit of money, but you can see 375,000 is not a big deal. If we hop over to the home screen, we're over $11.5 million right now. Keep in mind, here recently, I have not been running any of the other series. It's just been ARCA. And I'm doing that because that's our sole focus right now. Doesn't mean we'll never run the others again, but I'm focused on ARCA right now. And who's going to move up into trucks, and then we'll make some decisions going forward. But ARCA is proving to be very interesting in the driver hunt. We've got some favorites, but who knows what's going to happen in Season 3. So now let's hop back over to relative performance, and let's change this 50 to a 60 real quick. And yeah, there we go. So that was plenty. I'm sure we didn't need anywhere near the full 10. As you can see here, we're 1, 2, 4, and 5. So really all we needed to do was get Kaylee just inside the top 8. But 10's a nice even number. So now we are all set. We hop back over to the simulated seasons. All right, all of our results are cleared. Let's see what we get. The final 2 individuals that I did want to take a look at over on series relative performance that I forgot to were the 2 that we've been looking at outside of our team for possibly adding to our truck roster, and that is Earnhardt and Hailie Deegan. Earnhardt, even after the adjustments, remains a Tier 1 team. Same thing for Hailie Deegan. So I wanted to make sure they were still Tier 1 to give them every opportunity to impress. But now that we know that that has been settled, let's see what we get going forward. All right, here we go. Season number 3 starts now. Race number 1, and how about that to start your season? Carson Quapple comes in with the victory. That is a way to impress very quickly. All right, race number 2. Okay, we win again. Hey, I like it. This I can get used to. Taylor Reimer this time brings home the race win. And Carson Kvapil is off to a very strong start to his season. Let me go ahead and highlight. But yeah, that's how you start a season. All right, race 3. Oh, back-to-back wins for Taylor. This is very different than we've seen before. I mean, you guys have seen we have had very few race wins overall, and I talked a little bit about maybe something that could cause that. If you look a little bit behind the scenes, and I've done that on purpose by placing us here at the bottom as opposed to at the top. However, this season has started very good for us. 3 races so far in the season, and our team has all 3 victories. Okay, let's generate race number 4. All right, we do not have the win this time, but hey, not the end of the world because a couple of top 5s, a 7th, even the 20th isn't making me all that sad because it's Kaylee. She has done so well up until this point. It's going to take a lot for me to be disappointed in her season. So after 4 races, we're doing quite well. Race number 5, we're back to our winning ways. Carson Kvapil is trying to make a statement this season. Hey, I want that 4th and final slot. That's what he wants. Is he going to be able to have a full season worth of performance to show it, though? That remains to be seen. So here we are, 5 races in, and our team has 4 of those race victories. Mike Snyder up here, a very good start to the season for him, which is not bad. He's a tier 2, so not bad at all for Mike Snyder to start the season. As far as points after the first 5 races, we have 2 on the podium. Taylor Reimer, by virtue of her 2 wins, is in first, and then Carson Kvapil in third. All right, let's move forward with race number 6. And, another win for Carson Kvapil. Yes, he is most definitely making a statement. 3 wins in the first 6 races. Yeah, he's trying to get a point across, and I love it. But not only that, look at our entire team. Not only are all 4 of our drivers in the top 10, we're all in the top 7. 7th was our worst finish there. Race number 6, we brought some fantastic equipment. Race number 7, okay. All right, things looking pretty good for Kaylee Bryson. She's starting to turn things around the last few races, and Carson Kvapil is doing amazingly well. Okay, I like it. Not bad at all. All right, race number 8, and we pick up another race win. Jade Avedisian gets her first win of the season, but not just Jade Avedisian, defending champion Jade Avedisian picks up her first win of the year. Things are off to a very good start for us as a team, and Carson Kvapil is making a statement. Okay, here we go. Race number 9. Wow. This is hard to believe. After this first 2 seasons that Carson Kvapil has had, I mean, it's hard to start much better than this. We're 9 races in, and he has 1 bad finish outside the top 10, and it was well outside the top 10 here in 30th. But 3 wins, yeah, he's doing quite well for himself. All right, race number 10. Overall, definitely not our strongest. While we did have Jade on the podium, the other drivers, not so much. So after our first 10 races, let's take heart in some great finishes. I mean, 10 races, we've won 6 of them. Hard to be disappointed with that. And overall, Carson Kvapil is leading the charge. 3 wins, 8 top 10s, 6 top 5s. All right, Taylor Reimer continues to do well. Couple of wins. Jade, same thing. She's got a win. Not doing quite as well in the points, but she's picked it up a little bit the last few races. And then Kaylee Bryson is steady as she goes. Not a fantastic year. No wins so far, but she's in no danger of losing her ride in the Truck Series. She is all set. Now, let's take a look elsewhere. of course, Alex LeBay. Now, granted, for some of you who might be thinking, Alex LeBay has really impressed. He's not really what I'm looking for our role playing here in the career experience this time, because we sort of have an agenda. You know, we've been looking at an all-female team, and then we've added Carson to the mix from the Asphalt Super Late models. So we have sort of a theme here, and he, unfortunately for Alex LeBay, as good as he is doing, he's not really what we're looking for here in this particular playthrough of the career experience. Now, if I were just doing an all-out, let everything fall where it may, then yes, he's looking fantastic for a cup ride, a truck ride right now, and who knows in the future. But let's look at our other two drivers. Jeffrey Earnhardt, not so much this year. He does have the win, but he's in 19th in points. Hailie Deegan, no win, but she's third in points. So I already told you guys that I am partial to her given the current makeup of our team, but is her third in points, assuming she can keep this up, enough to fend off Carson Kvapil? We'll just have to see. This is coming down to the wire, and right now I don't know who I would choose. That's how tight it is at the top. So let's go ahead and move things about as far as we can over here to get as many races in. But of course, we know the final few races of the year, we won't be able to see the point standings. So we'll just have to guess as how things are going to finish up. So we're ready for race number 11. Let's see what we get. Not necessarily what we were looking for right there. From really any of our teams. We only had one driver inside the top 10. That was Jade Avedisian. But other than that, we've been better for sure. Race number 12. Now we're back to it. Our team leader, Kaylee Bryson, comes in with her first win of the season. And like I said, she's just been steady. Now she's up to 6th in points. So she's just moving right along. Overall, race number 12, a huge success for us. 1st, 2nd, and 4th. And then our worst finish of 11th. That is a good team result. Race number 13. Yep, we're still winning. Kaylee Bryson picks up her 2nd win in a row and of the season. Unfortunately, not so good for Jade. Decent for Taylor, but certainly not what she's looking for in the point standings. But Carson, very good race for him, coming home in 3rd. So he's still on a very nice run. Race number 14, couple in the top 5. That's it for the top 10. But overall, again, more or less your average race. Not great, but not terrible. Just sort of average for the other two cars. Race number 15, we bring home another win for Jade Avedisian. Another top 5 for Taylor Reimer. 6th, and then, well, not so good for Carson. He is now dropping down a bit in the points. Hopefully, he can make a comeback and make a strong run to finish off the season. So, race number 16, as we're getting right to the edge of what we can see, which honestly just makes things that much more exciting for me at the end of the season. So, let's take a look at race 16. All right, where are we here? We have 7th for Carson, so that's good. A bit of a comeback for him. Unfortunately, not so much for Kaylee. A terrible result for her, but then a couple of top 5s here for Jade and Taylor. So overall, again, a bit of a mixed bag overall, but not too bad. You can't really complain too much about having 3 cars in the top 10. All right, race finish number 17, another good event. 4, 5, and 7. That certainly helps out. The 25th, not so much. But let's go ahead, without spending too much time looking at where we are in the current point standings, let's hop over and see what's going to happen here in the final 3 races. So we're looking here at these columns, race 18, 19, and 20, and we are looking at the bottom 4 rows. So, oops, going a little bit too far there. So let's back up. So here we go. Race number 18 and 3, 5, 10, and 22. Again, the 22 is not what we're looking for Kaylee, But other than that, some decent finishes. 3 in the top 10 is always a good thing. Race 19, unfortunately, was not for us. Our equipment, this track was just not for us. We just didn't have the performance. 8th was our best. 2 in the 30s, that's not what we're looking for. It's certainly not going to help out in the points. All right, so here we go. Final race of the season, race number 20, and that's how you finish strong. Race number 20, Quapple comes home with the victory, but everybody was in the top 10. 2 in the top 5, all in the top 10. So that is a strong way to finish it off. As we scroll back over, let's take a look at how things finished off. So in the points, we go 3, 4, 7, and 9. The 9, not exactly what I'm looking for, but again, Kaylee's done so much up to this point. If that's the worst she's going to do, she's going to be just fine. 7th for Jade, again, not that great, but certainly not terrible. It's within the realm of where I would expect her as a Tier 1 driver to finish. Plus, she's our defending champion, so she is doing just fine. Taylor Reimer, however, 4th in points, another strong season for her, showing why she's essentially the number 2 driver on this team right now, year in and year out. However, Carson Quapple finally stepped up to the plate. However, was it too little, too late? Well, we'll just have to see when we come back next time. Because I'm looking at some other drivers a little farther up who might have had a pretty decent season. But overall, what I'm most impressed with are the wins we had. We had 10 wins out of the 20 races, by far and away the most I can remember in any season that we have had. But I could be wrong because I know that one season Kaylee Bryson had a lot of wins. I just off the top of my head can't remember exactly how many. But 10 wins out of a total of 20 races, 50% is not a bad win percentage for our team. But overall, I am very pleased. This is how we need all 4 of our drivers to do every season, no matter which series we're in. That's the type of performance we should expect. And on that note, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am.